We'll guide you through how to use the Canva video editor for beginners. If you find this useful, then consider subscribing and liking the video. Now we're handing the video over to Pausa, who's going to continue.
Along the top, you will see different type of content Canva lets you create. Everything from social media posts to videos, documents, whiteboard, sheets, etc. So we are mainly going to be focusing on video for today. Your recent project show up further down in this dashboard. You can jump straight into several tools directly from here too. Since we are building a video from here, just go ahead and click on the video section from here. You can just go ahead and start fresh, or you can also go with templates. Just go ahead and click on templates to get started with template. And here, when you hover over any template, you will be able to see the preview of the templates. And here we can browse by categories. Here you can see this is the mobile categories, or you even have landscape videos. So if you see a little crown icon, that means it is only for the pro users. So you must be in pro version of Canva to be able to use these particular templates. So let's say I want to go with this particular template. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on it and then choose to customize this template. And after that, your new tab will open, and then here you will be able to see your template. You can just hover over the borders and then just left click and drag so you can see what text are added. And you can now change your text. So let's say I want to change this text to GuideRealm. So I'm just gonna go ahead and double click on the text that I want to change, and then select all of them and then press delete to delete, and then write my text, which in my case it's going to be GuideRealm. And after you have finished typing your text, you can now preview it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move the playhead to the very beginning and then press the space key, or you can also click on this play icon to review the changes. And you can see now we have successfully made our changes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start fresh. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close this particular tab, and then just close this, and then go back. Just go to video once again, and then here you will be able to see different format that you can start working with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select landscape video for this tutorial. This drops you into the same editing layout with your preview and playback area on the top, and then your timeline running along the bottom in your tools and menu option down the side. This is where you will spend most of your time building out your project. To bring in your footage, just go ahead and head to the upload option at the left hand side, and then here you can choose to upload your files. So to upload your file, just go ahead and click on upload file, and then I'm just gonna select the files that I want to upload, which in my case it's going to be this particular files. So I'm just gonna select both of them by holding the control key and then choose to open. And now you will see it is loading, and now I'm just gonna wait for it to finish, and now it will be successfully added. Now you can add your clips to your timeline. So I'm just gonna hover over the border once again and then left click and drag so it's easier for us to edit. So let's say I want to start editing this particular video. I'll just left click and drag it and drop it into the timeline just like so. And now you will see it will be successfully added. So now when I hit the space key on my keyboard at the playback section, you will be successfully able to view it. Now let's talk about trimming. Hover near the start of your clip in your timeline. So just notice my cursor. So when I hover over the start, you will see my cursor change its shape. It lets you click and drag to adjust exactly where your footage begins. So let's say I want my footage to begin from this playhead. I'm just gonna go ahead and left click and drag right side, and you will see it will be successfully trimmed. So now when I leave my left mouse, you will see it will be successfully trimmed, and now our video becomes shorter. This is useful for cutting out any dead space or setup time before the actual content starts. The same techniques works on the opposite end too. You can just go ahead and left click and then drag it at the left hand side to delete the end frames also. Beyond trimming your edges, you can also split your footage into multiple pieces to remove sections in the middle, useful for cutting out mistakes, retake, or awkward pauses partway through a clip. Just go ahead and select your clip first and then move your playhead where you want to make the split. So let's say I want to make my split from this particular time frame. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press S key on your keyboard, and you will see now our clip will be successfully separated into two individual video frames. Alternatively, you can just go to the top and choose to click on split, and it will split the video in the current playhead. So when I click on split, you will see now our video is divided into three particular individual clips. You can also delete your clips. So let's say I want to delete this particular middle clips. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select it, and then just go to the top and choose to click on delete, and it will be successfully deleted. Or alternatively, you can also select and press the delete key on your keyboard to delete your selected clips successfully. The overall workflow here is straightforward. Bring in your primary footage first, walk through it using a combination of trimming and splitting to remove anything that you don't want, leaving just the strongest material behind. Once you have got multiple separated clips sitting in the timeline, you can freely reorder them. So you can just left click and then drag it just like so to reorder to your liking, just like so. You can drag it to wherever you want it positioned in your sequence. With your core footage cut down, the next step is bringing in any additional overlay footage, commonly called as B-roll, supplementary shot that play alongside your main footage to add visual variety. Now head back to the upload and hover over any clip, and it gives you a instant preview before you commit to using it. You can just go ahead and click on any clip, and then it will be successfully added in your timeline. Or alternatively, you can just left click and drag it also. So when you click your left mouse to add it to your timeline, it will be added to your timeline by default, and it gets added sequentially, meaning each plays after whatever comes before it, pushing later clips further along. However, what you'll usually want instead is to layer your new footage on top of your existing clip. So to do this, simply drag the new clip just above your main clip just like so, and it will be successfully added above your main footage. Once it is sitting in that upper layer, it behaves as an independent clip. You can reposition it along the timeline, adjust exactly when it starts or end by just dragging the edges just like we did earlier, just like so. You can even split by just selecting the clip and pressing S on your keyboard, and it will be successfully splitted into two particular individual clips. Now, playing back your project, your primary footage continues underneath while this overlay clip displays on screen at whatever point you have placed it, especially cutting away visual while your original audio keeps playing underneath. A common technique for keeping a video visually engaging without needing multiple camera angles. You can also select the layered clip, and then it also lets you scale it up or down. You can just drag the handles at the corner just like so, and then you can resize it to your liking. So let's say I want it in full screen, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to my full screen by just dragging the corners just like so. And then let's say I want to delete this particular clip. I'm just gonna go ahead and select it and press delete key on my keyboard, and it will be successfully deleted. And you can always hover over your clip and then left click and drag to trim your footage. So now when I play my footage by pressing the space key on my keyboard, you will see it will be successfully layered on the top of the main footage, and then our main footage will start playing back once again. And you are not limited to a single overlay layer either. You can stack multiple clips on top of one another, giving you 2 or 3 more pieces of footage visible simultaneously if your project calls for it. So let's say I want to add this particular footage as another overlay. I'm just gonna go ahead and left click and then just drop it in the timeline, and it will be successfully added. Now I can trim it just like we did earlier, just like so. And now you can see we have 3 footage on top of each other. So I'm just gonna go ahead and visually show you that there are 3 footages. When I click on this particular clip and then just resize it to my liking, now when I play my video, you can see we have 3 videos stacked on top of each other. Beyond your own uploaded footage, Canva also includes a substantial built-in media library. Just go ahead and click on the element in the side menu, and then it will give you access to graphic, stock videos, photos, audio clip, and more, either by browsing categories, or you can also search directly. So let's say I want to search something like cats. I'm just gonna go ahead and search for cat, and then press enter, and you can see the cat footages will successfully appear. And like I said earlier, if they have a crown icon, you will need a premium subscription to be able to use these assets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select a free asset, and now you can see I can directly drag it into my timeline and it will be successfully added, just like so. Now when I play it, you will see it will be successfully added in our timeline. And then worth calling out, especially Canva now includes AI generated video and image built directly in the same search experience. So just go ahead and click on generate, and then you will see it will successfully start generating. So I'm just gonna wait for it to finish, and as I search for cat, it must be now generating our cat footage. And now you can see our video is successfully generated. So I can just drag and drop it directly into my timeline. So now let's preview it, and you can see it has done a pretty good job. Now let's talk about adding titles and text. Just go ahead and head over to the text section at the left hand side, and then just go ahead and add a text box. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add my text box by just clicking on add a text box. And now here you can add any text to your liking. So let's say I want to add or write something like cat. So I'm just gonna go ahead and type cat, and now it has been successfully written, but you might not see it yet because it is blending with the background. So let's change its color. And to change the color, make sure your text is selected, and go to the top and choose text color, and then select any color that you want to add. So let's say I want to go with something like white. So I'm just gonna add a white and choose to change all. And now you can see now our text is successfully visible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close this, and then go to the text section, and then you can see default text styles. So you can even add them by just clicking on it, and then it will be successfully added. You can always customize it by selecting all by pressing Ctrl and A key on your keyboard, and then backspace to delete all. And then let's say I want to type something like GuideRealm. I'm just gonna go ahead and type GuideRealm, and you can just use this particular icon and then left click and then move it anywhere to your liking, just like so. And you can rotate it by using this particular icon. Just left click and rotate it to your liking. So I'm just gonna leave it at this particular point. Alternatively, you can scroll further down in the same panel, and after scrolling further down, the same panel reveals a large library of pre-built and often pre-animated title templates. So let's say I want to add this particular template. So I'm just go ahead and left click and drag it into my timeline, and then now it will be successfully added. This is customizable. So let's say I want to add GuideRealm. I'm just gonna add GuideRealm. After that, I'm just gonna go ahead and preview it. So now you can see we have successfully added our custom text also. And if your chosen title is not already animated, you can add a simple animation separately through the animate option while the text element is selected. So just go ahead and select your text, and after that just go to the animate at the top, and then you can add any animation to your liking. You can just hover over it to preview how it looks. So just go ahead and choose the option that fits your style. So let's say I want to add this particular animation. I'm just gonna go ahead and select it, and now when I preview it, you will see the animation will also be successfully added. Now let's cover transition and visual effect between clips. As your timeline fills up, it's worth zooming in or resizing your timeline view to give yourself more room to work precisely. So you can just hold the Control key on your keyboard and then scroll your mouse wheel up to zoom in into your timeline. To add a transition between two clips, hover directly over the joining point between two clips, and then just go ahead and select one clip. You can choose either clip from either side, and when you hover over the middle point, this reveals a small menu offering option like adding a transition or adding a media or a blank point. Just go ahead and select the transition for now, and then here you will be able to see your transition. So let's say I want to go with something like circle vibe. I'm just gonna go ahead and select it, and now let's preview our transition. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play the video, and now you can see the transition has been successfully applied. You can always select your transition and then apply between all scenes, so you don't have to manually apply transition between all of your clips. So now you can see it will be successfully added automatically. That said, transitions are not always the right call. When two consecutive clips look very similar, for example, when you have simply cut out a retake or mistake between matching shot. Adding a flashy transition can look a little unnecessary. In these cases, a more subtle technique works better, simply zooming in slightly on one or two clips to stimulate a second camera angle, a common trick for breaking up visual monotony without needing multiple physical camera during filming. First, just go ahead and select the clip in the question. So let's say it is going to be this particular clip, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and select the transition and then choose none for now. So just go ahead and select any clip that you want to zoom in. So let's say it's going to be this particular clip. I'm just gonna go ahead and select it and then choose the crop option, and then from here you can just go ahead and increase the zoom slightly, just like so. You can adjust it to your liking, just like that. Try to keep a consistent point of reference like someone's eyes or fixed object in framed, aligned between the original shot and the zoomed in version, so the cut feels intentional rather than jarring. And from here you can also explore some of Canva's built-in effect for individual clips. Just go ahead and select any clip to your liking and then choose background remover, but note that it is only for the pro users. This strips out the background entirely. It is useful if you want to replace it with different footage, a solid color, or text sitting behind or in front of your subject. This is typically a paid feature, but it opens up a lot of creative flexibility, letting you scale and reposition your background removed footage anywhere in frame while the other content plays behind it. You can also select any clip to your liking and then go to edit, and it reveals additional control, playback speed adjustment for slowing down or speeding up footage, along with access to Canva's separate app section, which includes extra tools like video upscaler or video reverser, both of which can be added directly to the available toolset as needed. Now let's bring in some music and sound effect. Just like with a video, you can upload your own audio through the upload panel. So just go ahead and go to the uploads and then go to audio, and now here you can choose to upload your files, or if you have already uploaded your audio, you can just simply left click and drag it to add in directly into your timeline. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to my timeline, and you will see it will be successfully added. You can left click and drag and position it anywhere you want. Once your music in its place, it's time to balance your audio level. You likely want to make a manual adjustment here and there. Just go ahead and select any clip, and then it will reveal a volume control. Just go ahead and click on the volume, and here you can just increase the volume by just dragging the slider to the right hand side, and then decrease by dragging it to the left hand side. Or you can just choose balance all feature, which automatically analyzes every clip, sound effect, and music track in your timeline and then adjust level according using its built-in audio processing. Even after running this, you are free to manually fine-tune individual clip further if something needs adjusting. If your original footage has noisy or lower quality audios, Canva also offers a voice enhancement tool on your audio tools. Just go to the top and choose to enhance voice, and then your voice will be successfully enhanced. But note that you must be in the paid version to be able to access this feature. With your footage, text, and audio all in place, the final layer of polish is color grading. Just go ahead and select any clip that you want to color grade, and then just go ahead and open the edit panel for that. And then it will give you access to a range of preset filter, each with an adjustable intensity slider to dial in exactly how strong the effect looks. So let's say I want to go with filter like fresco. I'm just gonna go ahead and select that, and then you can increase or decrease the intensity of the filter, and then you can preview it live in the playback section. Alternatively, the adjust option gives you full manual control over individual slider like brightness, contrast, and saturation for more precise hands-on grading. So you can just go ahead and click on adjust, and then you can adjust it to your liking, and then you can preview it live in your timeline. There is also an auto adjust tool powered by Canva's AI, which analyzes your footage and applies its own automatic color correction. Importantly, it shows you exactly what changes it made afterwards. So you can see the changes it made are successfully visible. So you can refine or tweak these results further rather than accepting them as a fixed final edit. Once everything is looking and sounding the way that you want, give your project a full preview before exporting by just hitting the space key on a keyboard in your timeline. When you are ready to finalize things, just go ahead and go to the top right and then click on share. And then from here, just go ahead and choose the option for download, or you can also upload it directly to this particular platform from here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select the option for download, and from here, to adjust the quality of the video, you must have a pro version. So by default it will export at 1080p. So you can just click on the file type and then choose any file type to your liking, and then as this is a video, the suggested one is going to be MP4. So I'm just gonna go ahead and choose to download, and then I'm just gonna wait for it to finish. And then now you can see our download has been successfully finished. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open it by just double clicking on it, and now you can see our video has been successfully exported. And that's basically everything that you need to know about Canva's video editor.